Have you ever thought about what would happen if the stock market crashed tomorrow? Today, millions of Americans believe that the United States is on the verge of a major economic collapse, but only a small percentage of them are prepared for what's about to come. We are currently living in a big, fat, ugly bubble, and the global situation has created an environment for a financial panic. The U.S. stock market is teetering on the edge of a collapse, and the repercussions would be disastrous. The signs of an imminent economic collapse are not always easy to see. Back in September 2008, the U.S. economy nearly collapsed when panicked investors withdrew a record $140 billion from money market accounts. If withdrawals had continued for just one more week, the entire economy would have come to a halt. When the collapse occurs, it will happen quickly, catching most people off guard. Banks will close, credit will become inaccessible, and the demand for essential supplies will skyrocket while the supply dwindles. In such a scenario, self-defense becomes paramount. Desperate times lead to desperate measures, and with police spread thin and street gangs taking advantage of the chaos, it's crucial to be prepared. But how do you survive when you can no longer rely on the giant corporations to provide for you and your family? Do you have a plan? Here's a list of 30 things you and your family will need to survive the economic collapse and the catastrophic disaster that follows. Keep some cash at home. It's important to have a stash of cash at home to cover immediate needs in case of an extended bank holiday or ATM outages. Store it securely in a concealed location. Get out of debt. Reduce your financial vulnerability by paying off debts. Being debt-free allows you to have more control over your finances during an economic downturn. Invest in gold and silver. Protect your wealth from the devaluation of the US dollar and inflation by investing in precious metals like gold and silver. These assets tend to hold their value in times of economic instability. Consider moving away from big cities. Major cities are likely to experience increased crime rates and civil unrest during an economic collapse. If possible, relocating to a rural area can offer a safer and more self-sustainable environment. Stock up on clothing and hiking gear. Prepare for different weather conditions and the possibility of having to travel long distances. Store warm and functional clothing, blankets, and rain gear to ensure comfort and protection. Invest in comfortable footwear. In a survival situation, having durable and comfortable shoes or hiking boots is crucial. They will enable you to walk long distances and navigate various terrains more efficiently. Obtain survival gas masks. In situations involving toxic or contaminated air, gas masks can be life-saving. They provide a barrier between you and harmful particles or chemicals, ensuring your safety and well-being. Axe, shovel, and knife. Investing in a good axe, shovel, and knife is crucial for various survival tasks. These tools will help you gather firewood, cut wood for shelter, provide food, and make clothing. Consider tools like the Cold Steel Special Forces Spetsnaz shovel, which can serve multiple purposes. Self-defense equipment. Having self-defense equipment is important for protecting yourself and your family during times of crisis. This can include pepper spray or other robust means of defense. Be prepared for potential encounters with wild animals or desperate individuals. Ammunition. If you own firearms, it's essential to stock up on ammunition while it is still available. Ammunition shortages have been reported, and it's uncertain if restrictions or scarcity will increase in the future. Make sure you have an ample supply to ensure the functionality of your firearms. Compass and maps. In case of an emergency that requires you to be on the move, having a compass and maps is crucial. It will help you navigate different routes, especially back roads and cross-country areas. Knowing your direction is essential for survival and reaching your intended destination. Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army knives are incredibly versatile and handy tools. They can serve a multitude of purposes in a survival situation. Make sure to have at least one Swiss Army knife available for emergencies. Hiking backpack. If you need to evacuate or bug out, having a sturdy hiking backpack or survival bag for each family member is essential. It allows you to carry your shelter, tents, water filter, matches, clothing, and other survival supplies comfortably and efficiently. Shelter. You can't sleep on the streets, can you? While some people can manage to live on the streets, the majority of us will need some form of shelter to survive long term. If you and your family lose your home or are suddenly forced to leave, where would you go? It's best to come up with several plans. Do you have relatives you can stay with in case of an emergency? Do you own a tent and sleeping bags in case you have to rough it? If everything goes wrong and you have to bug out somewhere, where would that be? Having a plan is crucial. Clean water. Most people can survive for a number of weeks without food, but without water, you will die in just a few days. So where would you get water if the water supply suddenly stopped? Do you have a plan? Is there an abundant supply of clean water near your home? Would you be able to boil water if you need to? Besides storing water, another thing to consider is water purification tablets. The water you gather during a crisis may not be suitable for drinking, so having water purification tablets can be very handy. Water filter bottles, pumps, and gravity water filters are also essential. Lighters or matches. You will also want something to start a fire with. If you can start a fire, you can cook food, boil water, and stay warm. So, in a true emergency situation, how do you plan to start a fire? By rubbing sticks together. It's prudent to put away a supply of lighters or matches so that you will be prepared when you really need them. In addition, you may want to consider storing a good supply of candles. Candles come in quite handy whenever the electricity goes out, and in the event of a long-term economic crisis, we will all see why our forefathers relied on candles so much. There are also 17 ways of starting a fire without matches, so learning several methods and carrying the necessary materials is recommended. Flashlight or lantern. When the power goes off in your home, what is the first thing you grab? A flashlight or a lantern, of course. In a major emergency, a flashlight or lantern is a necessity, especially if you need to move around at night. Solar-powered or crank-style flashlights or lanterns will probably be the best options during a long-term emergency. If you have battery-powered units, you will want to start storing up lots and lots of batteries. Storing up food, a bug-out location (BLB) and bug-out vehicle (BOV) should have 72 hours worth of food, such as Mountain House meals, granola, peanut butter and jelly, and non-perishable items like sunflower seeds. Food is going to instantly become one of the most valuable commodities in an economic collapse. If you don't have food, you won't survive. Most American families couldn't last much longer than a month on what they have in their pantry right now. So, how about you? If disaster struck right now, how long could you survive on what you have? The truth is that we all need to start storing up food. If you and your family run out of food, you will find yourselves competing with hungry people who are looting stores and roaming the streets in search of something to eat. Growing your own food is an excellent option, but it takes time. Therefore, you need to have enough food stored until your crops have time to grow. If you haven't stocked up on seeds, now is the time to do so. Learn to grow your own food. This is a skill that most Americans possessed in the past, but that most Americans today have forgotten. Growing your own food is a way to become more independent of the system, and it is a way to prepare for future challenges. Consider starting a garden and learning about sustainable farming practices. Growing your own fruits, vegetables, and herbs can provide a sustainable source of food for you and your family. Additionally, learning about seed saving and composting can further enhance your self-sufficiency in food production. Self-defense. In times of crisis, personal safety becomes paramount. Whether it is for protection against wild animals or potential threats from other people, having self-defense equipment is important. Consider acquiring self-defense tools such as pepper spray or other non-lethal alternatives. Additionally, if you choose to own firearms for self-defense, ensure that you follow all legal requirements and receive proper training in their use and safe storage. First aid kit and other medical supplies. In a major crisis, accessing hospitals or doctors may be difficult. It is crucial to have a well-stocked first aid kit and essential medical supplies. Include items such as bandages, antiseptics, pain relievers, prescription medications if applicable, and any specific medical supplies required for your family's needs. Stock up on vitamins. In our current times, obtaining adequate nutrition solely from food sources can be challenging. It is important to have an ample supply of vitamins and supplements to ensure proper nutrition during a crisis. Consider storing a variety of essential vitamins and minerals that support overall health. A radio. In the event of a major crisis, staying informed about the situation becomes crucial. A radio can be an invaluable tool for accessing news and emergency broadcasts. Opt for solar-powered or crank-style radios for long-term use, while battery-powered units can be useful as long as you have sufficient batteries. Communication equipment. When a crisis occurs, maintaining communication with family, friends, and emergency services is vital. Have a plan in place for communication, considering both high-tech, cell phones, internet, and low-tech, walkie-talkies, signal whistles options. Be prepared for potential disruptions in traditional communication channels. Personal hygiene items. While not absolute essentials, personal hygiene items significantly contribute to maintaining comfort and well-being. Stock up on items such as soap, toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoo, toilet paper, feminine hygiene products, and any other hygiene-related supplies your family requires. Alternative solutions like bidet irrigation bottles can help reduce reliance on toilet paper. Special needs for babies and pets. Remember to account for the special needs of infants, toddlers, and pets in your preparations. Stock up on diapers, baby formula, baby food, and any specific pet supplies required. Consider their dietary needs, medication, and comfort items to ensure their well-being during challenging times. Sewing kit. In a situation where purchasing new clothes may not be feasible, having a sewing kit becomes essential. Repairing and extending the lifespan of your clothing becomes crucial. Include needles, threads, buttons, patches, and other sewing essentials in your kit. Extra gasoline. Prepare for a potential shortage or rationing of gasoline by storing some extra fuel. This can provide mobility in case you need to travel during a crisis or emergency situation. Proper storage and safety measures should be followed when storing gasoline. Have a backup plan. It is vital to have contingency plans in place for various scenarios. If your primary plan fails or circumstances change, having alternative strategies and options can make a significant difference. Consider alternative bug-out locations, evacuation routes, and alternative sources for essential resources. Building a community. In times of crisis, forming or being part of a community can greatly enhance your chances of survival and support. Foster relationships with trustworthy individuals, friends, neighbors, or local groups who share similar preparedness goals. Working together and pooling resources can increase resilience and provide a sense of security. Maintain privacy about prepping. It is advisable to keep your prepping efforts private. Sharing details about your preparedness with everyone around may attract unwanted attention or put you at risk during a crisis. Exercise caution when discussing prepping on public platforms or media to avoid becoming a target. In conclusion, this video highlights the importance of being prepared for potential crises and the need to take proactive steps to ensure the well-being and survival of yourself and your loved ones. It emphasizes the significance of having essential supplies, such as medical kits, communication devices, personal hygiene items, and backup plans. Additionally, it stresses the value of building a supportive community and maintaining privacy about prepping efforts. Remember, preparedness is an ongoing process, and staying informed and adaptable is key. If you found this information valuable, we encourage you to like and subscribe for more insightful content to help you navigate uncertain times.